It's hard. It's not an easy thing to accept because I thought, I had gotten a lot figured out before I had a baby, and now it's like I'm relearning to figure things out. Hello, beautiful ones. Welcome back to my channel. I am so happy to be seeing you this week. I hope you have had a wonderful week, and I can't wait to share with you what I have to share with you today. Really quickly, in case you are new here, hi, my name is Leisha, and I've been documenting my leveling up journey for about 2 years now here on YouTube. I am working on inviting more elegance, more femininity into my lifestyle, and of course, building affluence and wealth. And so I would say that, for where I'm at right now, I'm happy with where I'm at. I realize this is not an overnight transformation, especially in the financial department, but I am really proud of my progress. I would love to connect with you. Leave me a comment down below if you're new, and don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss a video. I typically upload every Sunday. For any of you who have been going through big life changes before, or as we level up, we experience big changes as a result. Not just maybe, such a big change as having a baby. It could be a big change such as switching a job, or it could be a big change such as being able to start a business or get to a certain level of wealth where you can expand your options and change your lifestyle up a little bit. Even those good changes can be hard. And so I want to talk a little bit about that today, just how my expectations and my leveling up journey has changed, and not necessarily my goals, but the way that I am changing expectations a little bit on myself so that I am avoiding burnout, I am not giving up, and number one, so that I am able to create the best life possible for our family and for my daughter. Gosh, now I'm gonna have to slow down. I'm being forced to slow down, and so that's hard to take in, but again, it's also part of where I wanted to be leveling up. I honestly want the luxury of being able to slow down in life, and so now I kind of have it because I have a baby that I have to focus a lot of my time on caring for. So there's a certain level of acceptance that I have had to come to terms with in that, and it has taken me almost 5 months postpartum to get there, to be honest. I know in the last video I mentioned that I have had some struggles with postpartum depression and anxiety. I will be sharing about that in a full separate video because there's so many layers to that, and I know that it's something that in this community I don't know if it's really talked about in leveling up, how you deal with those things in mental health especially. So, coming soon, I'm not going to dive into it here, but keep in mind that this has been, almost half a year now, and I think about that in my journey. It's not like I can look at that as a setback, but it's being able to accept it. So big realization, accepting where I am, accepting what I have now, and that brings me to the second realization that I've had postpartum. The second thing that I have realized is that, my old life is kind of gone. It's gone, and I've had to come to terms with that. I worked with my therapist a lot, just speaking about how things have changed and how to deal with change. Even when I first got married, that was a big life change that I went through. And so I would say that when I got married to now being a mother, those are probably the two biggest life changes that I can compare and I can have a perspective on to be able to move forward. So life has changed a lot, right? And I'm not able to just, for example, leave the house and go get my nails done like I wanted to. I have to be a lot more intentional about when I do that. My husband and I cannot just go and leave and go on a date like we used to anytime we wanted, or even just sit down and watch a movie whenever we wanted to at home. So, a lot of those things have changed, and I have to be in acceptance of that now. And as selfish as it sounds, I didn't like that at first. I really like being able to make choices on how I spend my time. And now it's not about us all the time anymore, is it? It's about my family, it's about my daughter, and the way I spend my time. Now that takes priority. So you'll find times in your level up journey where you might have other activities, not just motherhood, that are going to take priority and may change your focus according to what your original plans were. And so, the way that I'm coming to terms with that is by looking at some new opportunities that I have to get to the next level. And they don't look the same as what I previously thought before I had my baby, but they will still get me to that end result. Okay, so the realization is, yes, my old life is gone, but replacing that with my new life is here, and we can still get to the final destination. It's just another way, another route to get there. Again, I still have to remind myself in my journal that is the mindset now. It's hard. It's not an easy thing to accept, because I thought, I had gotten a lot figured out before I had a baby, and now it's like I'm relearning to figure things out. So another realization that I have had in this postpartum time is that I have some values that have shifted, and I thought that would never happen. I thought I was pretty set in the way that I had organized and prioritized my life according to my goals and the lifestyle that I want to live, but now a lot has changed. I will say that the number one value that I have changed a lot on and have been working on putting new boundaries around is my time. And so, gosh, having a baby makes you realize so much more how time is valuable and should not be taken for granted. And I really feel that if you're a mother, or even if you've had loved ones maybe with a terminal illness, you probably realize that more than the rest of us, especially if you're younger and watching this. So if you are in your 20s and you are watching this, gosh, you have so much to do with your time. Don't waste it. I really hope that point gets across in this video for you if you're watching. But time is just I remember bringing my daughter home from the hospital, and the days and nights were just flying by. It felt like I couldn't even keep track of, people would message me or call me, and I knew I would make a mental note, I'm gonna call that person back, but I just forgot. That's the last thing I wanted to really bring here and say, is that my expectation that I had before of how I'd be able to spend my time has completely changed. My time is valuable. I know that I am worth a lot for my time. If I'm gonna give up my time to something, like sitting here and recording these videos, obviously I've put that back on something that is important, but I might not do quite the time that I spent on it before. Your priorities and expectations will shift every level that you get to in life, not just as a mother, but I think especially more now that I'm a mother, I realize that. Okay, so those are some of the main things that I wanted to share about just how my expectations have changed around leveling up, and ultimately now it's just that my family and my daughter come first, but I am really grateful for what I have built before going into motherhood. That right now there are some things that I still feel really nervous about in the change department, but I'm working through that. I'll share more about the postpartum depression and anxiety, because that really will give you more insight into some changes. But there are some changes outside of just as a result of being a mother now. There are some changes that are coming in my life, and I will explain more on those in the next month or so. So thank you so much for watching and being here and being a part of my leveling up journey. I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. I will do my best to answer all of them. and hope that you will also join me over on Instagram as I share more behind the scenes of how I am navigating life here at working on leveling up. I'm still working on improving my affluence, building wealth, and I'll have more to share on that too in the future because some of that has changed. I'm just ultimately so thankful for this little community here on YouTube. It means a lot to me to be able to be here and share this with you. So until next time, I wish you well. Bye.